Good evening, fellas. Welcome to the stream. I know I promised, or I said, that I would be probably streaming at Black Marsh level game design. However, I'm gonna do that later this week because there are some things I have to check first or fix before we get to more interesting parts, and that is making levels. But maybe I'm gonna stream that as well. Like there are some things like in the scripting or programming that I have to change to make it more efficient, because in a Game Boy game everything matters because of the limitation of the hardware, of course. So I'm gonna spend a little more time offline getting that fixed before we can actually, before we test the level. But that shouldn't be too much trouble. So that is something for probably the weekend, Saturday or Sunday. I'm gonna do some Black Marsh level design. But now let's continue on episode 1, remastering. In 2026, it's been many years, or several years at least, since I worked on this first episode. And with the release of episode 2, it's about time I bring this up to a higher standard, because a lot of things have changed, especially the UDMF map format, which allows me to clean up a lot of this unnecessary sector division. I'm not really sure why because of the stairs. Okay, now that makes sense though. But we can clean up a lot of stuff here. All of this, yeah. Can even like that. There we go. Is this on the same level? I think so. Oh. Now we can add a little more detail, because why the hell not? And what we actually can do here, and that something I always forget, which is incredibly cool. Shattered, what is up, buddy? Welcome. It's been quite a long time, actually. Good to see you again. How are you? What have you been up to? There we go. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And this is like a very underused thing, which I will be definitely making use of here. Texture skewing. Let's see, other sectors. This is always something I have to 1,000 years. Yeah. I'm doing fine as well, thank you. I have been taking a very small break, like less than a week, for the release of episode 2. And I finally got it out, you know. And I'm very happy that I finally was able to. Hold on. Set your ceiling. Oh. Okay. And now I'm actually doing kind of like a remaster of episode 1 to make sure that it is kind of up to date. Unreal, yeah, absolutely. One of the best soundtracks ever, in my humble opinion. I come to appreciate the Deus Ex soundtrack as well, which is, I think, also by Alexander Brandon. And I never really got into Deus Ex. I did finish it, but only like, I think a few years ago. I decided to finally play. Hey, Mortal Nap, what is? Oh, it was you who said, yeah, the OST. Yeah, I thought it was still Shattered. Yeah. I think one of my favorite, like, what I really like about this Unreal soundtrack is the fact that you have, that it's split up. You got these action sequences, and they integrated it perfectly in, you know, the levels. And I think, well, I can't remember the names. I'll let you know if it comes up. I do have a few favorite soundtracks. And there's an amazing remix project. We'll check it out in a bit. Those are like amazing stuff. Surfacing is also one of my favorites. Very, very cool. Yeah, that one. But it's more like an upbeat version. That is crazy stuff. We'll come back to it in a bit. It's like the world of Unreal is, it will be forever. You know, I think it's my favorite crafted world so far. Though the gameplay could be a little, like, it was a little floaty, maybe, but the atmosphere is, you know, Return to Nepali, yeah. Ooh, man. I think Bounds of Foundry, I'm not really sure if that's the level name or the soundtrack, but oh, man. Those were my childhood memories. And I'm lucky that I played it in a time where, like, I played it when it came out, and I'm still very happy that I have experienced that, you know, that feeling of like completely new world, you know, where the technical evolution was, you know, taking really large strides, and like it blew me away. You know, the graphics, like how it looked, the open world. For mainly the second map, really introduced that open world type of gameplay. Yeah, that is something like, if kids nowadays, like, you know, if they were to go back, they can never experience that immense technological evolution that you had in like that specific time period, where you get like, you know, you went from Doom to Quake, then you had Unreal, you know, it evolved so fast and with immense strides. Like nowadays it seems there is very little technological advancement, or at least that's how it feels. No, I think, you know, I bought it. Did I buy it myself? No, probably not. How old was I? I must have been, I don't know, 13 or so? 1998? 1989. No. 1998. I was born 1985, so I was 14 or so? 1998, yeah. I was kind of confused. So I think, well, it wasn't on my birthday, but I think I just got it. The Quake, no, but I'm definitely planning to. I'm planning to do a live stream of the new Quake. Oh, you were only 10. Oh yeah, but still, you know, that's old enough to kind of appreciate the game for what it is. But we're gonna stream the Brutalist Jam, I think, this week, because I know I'm still busy with the CAC Awards 2025, but I feel like a little bit of you know, a little bit, like a few different games to stream at once. It's okay. I've seen that there is an update on the, was it Call of the Void? Let's actually have a look. Is it still here somewhere? Oh, it's already off the first page of my database, I think. Did I miss it completely? Quake 2. Call of the Void, yes. They had a new update as well, I think, with a few new maps. That's a mod for Quake 2, and it is, I think it's a Quake 1 and 2 crossover. Like they kind of merged the two worlds together and kind of did some unique monster designs combining the two. Which looks absolutely amazing. And I think I definitely want to check that out as well. So there's plenty of stuff to do on stream. Actually, what I was doing, and it's kind of what really surprised me. Let's pull it up real quick. I'm planning to do like these kind of like dev logs, where I basically, you know, do like a short, it's like a very short video where I just, you know, speed up some level design, and I just explain what I did and what is next. For like, I'm gonna try to do it like weekly, make it a weekly update. And I actually did a little bit of experimentation with YouTube Shorts. And I gotta say, like I did a few here, let me pull it up. And these actually got a pretty high view count. And like this is only, I just posted this I think a few moments ago, but this one, it's only like a couple days old, and it's gotten 942 views, which is actually you're pretty amazing. And I think like the YouTube short format is actually great for doing these small devlogs. I think it's, you know, it's kind of like a fun way to do like a little more than just write like a small article or just like a post on X. I think this is a little more interesting in terms of content, and we'll probably get a lot more eyes on than posting X, because the algorithm for X is abysmal. Like I had like 730 followers, but like the last few months, I think, like I'm really struggling to get 100 views, and only like a few likes. And I wonder, like, because the people who follow me, they are genuinely, like, they're not bots. So it's gonna like, it probably doesn't even reach them. And it's a bit of a shame, because if you look at some of the content that kind of goes viral, like, and that is something I really, maybe it's because it relates to people, but like I saw a post which got like, I don't know, more than 3,000 views, and I don't know how many likes, just because somebody posted like a screenshot of a Half-Life map, and they just said like, I like this area, and bam, it goes viral. That shit is insane. Like, it's the lowest amount of effort you have to do, and it goes viral. That's completely insane. Yeah, and I mean, I'm pretty sure like it draws, like it baits that nostalgia thing. You know, but it doesn't provide any, like, it's like a feel-good post, you know. And maybe that is what draws the most people. I don't know. But if you see like genuine artists who actually post their work, they get so little views. And maybe X is not the best place for that anymore. Could be. So I'm just trying to, you know, I'm trying to experiment a little bit, trying different. I even made a TikTok account just to see how my type of content would perform on that. And actually, you know, the algorithm is different because it pushes out a lot more. I get a lot more views. Doesn't mean anything, of course. You know, you have to attract people who are genuinely interested and keep them. But we'll see how it goes. I think YouTube might be like a good middle ground here. Especially for devlogs. Yeah, we'll see in time. The thing is, like, you know, especially because I'm also working on an actual game that I want to sell. Marketing is important, you know, you can't bypass that. And it requires some effort, because, you know, you can have like a good game, but if nobody knows about it, it's you know, it flops. And I don't really like that part, you know, marketing. It's not my kind of, not the thing I enjoy the most, but it's something that is necessary. So I thought I might as well, you know, jump in and at least try to get some more eyes on, you know. Well, I am in touch with the local ice texture wizard, Ivar. Not so much, to be honest. I keep tabs on his progress, but it's been a while since I had contact with him. Yeah. Last I know is that like he's doing good. I think there is still a great future for the project. I'm sure he, he's really invested in Core Decay. And I mean, the game has such a solid foundation already that I feel like a publisher, is right around the corner. I mean, if you don't see potential in Core Decay, especially as a like retro, like the trending retro vibe, especially Deus Ex, because that is actually not too many games do that. Like you see a lot of like new games that trying to be like Doom. Hey, database. Oh, legend. Wow, that is too much credit. But thank you. And like Core Decay is kind of unique in that sense. It's pretty much unexplored, doing like a full, well, let's call it a Deus Ex clone, and there has to be a market for it. Such it's. I don't really understand why 3D Realms didn't decide to keep him on board. It's such waste. Such wasted potential. But who am I to make that decision for them? But still, I think it was a big mistake. But I don't think I can ever work with like a large team again. Because there is so much content that is being just tossed out. Starseed, oh yeah. Yeah. Can't seem to find like a good light texture. I think Unreal has like this great mix of ambient, moody tracks, like calming, and then you got these more action-packed tracks. It's absolutely great. Yeah, true. I still practice 3D modeling. Well, I haven't really. The thing is, I do have plans for like once my Game Boy game is completed. I do have plans to make like a new game. Which will be using 3D modeling. But the thing is, like, I kind of have the basics. Like, I have this understanding of 3D modeling, especially low poly modeling. Then, not sculpting or anything. That is something uncharted. That's uncharted territory for me. But I do have still have that foundation of knowledge. Like I think that's the most, like, the hardest thing to learn to understand is why you I mean, basically if you follow a tutorial, you can make, everybody can make a model. But the thing is optimization and understanding why you do something. Like, why do you cut that line there? You know, why you choose triangulation here instead of quads or n-gons, you know. And that type of thing is like really a foundation that you need. And if you have that understanding, then it's easy to pick up again, you know. Well, sculpting can actually, it can be good because you can actually retopologize. Do I say that right? And you can actually, they're very good for creating, like going from high poly to low poly models. And you can bake in a lot of detail in, which is pretty cool. I think they actually, no, they made sprites out of it for the Age of Hell. But those are 3D models initially. And it's an interesting technique, you know. I kind of want to experiment with voxels as well. Especially when it comes to like destructible terrain. I think if you have a game where you can actually blow up some stuff, some walls or whatever, I think voxels are actually great for that. You know? There's potential there. Red Faction. Ah, yeah. Does it use voxels? I played it, I think, but it's been so long ago. And what am I doing? I'm actually just scrolling here. I'm not even thinking. This one I think might be good. Ah, okay, first you instructable. Yeah, might be. Could be. Not really sure. Ceiling. Wow. Rigging and animation. That is something I am absolutely not familiar with, but it's an essential skill, of course. You have to learn. This is one of my favorite parts. This piece of the soundtrack. Absolutely amazing stuff. Good cheer. Here we got also one of the best soundtracks in Unreal. Just truly mesmerizing stuff. Nothing beats the Unreal soundtrack. Wait a minute. What the hell is this? Surfacing, yes, indeed. I mean, if you don't like this soundtrack, you can be saved, I'm sorry. It is simply the best of the best. There we go. Just a little bit of detail. What I was thinking, and this might be a good time to do it now. I'm just thinking how. But I kind of want to open this area up here. Because I feel... Ah, okay, it's that one is also pretty great. Can we do something with this wall here? Let's first make a connection. See where we are at with this. I think, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, this is underwater. This will require a decent change. Let's see if this is actually on the same level. Wait. Okay, this is on the same level. So actually I want to cut out this entire corner here. Make it a little more open so we have a little more maneuverability for combat. And we can actually get rid of this. So we're gonna... And it's kind of nice because it creates a little more asymmetry. Let's see. Now the thing I have to think about are shapes, of course, but that is something we can worry about later. Maybe like this simple. Oh, really? Specific game configurations. Okay, that's interesting. And do you know like what type? Man, this feels a lot better. UDMF2. Oh, you know, I actually been meaning to take the step to UDMF. I mean, UZ Doom. I think it's only natural. Well, I think weren't the changes like minimalistic at first, at least. We can actually remove this entire piece as well here. Let's just make a sector out of this. There we go. And of course I need it the other way around. That. Let's see, let's join these. Well, they can actually completely go. Sulaco Chapter 2. Oh, is there a... I never played the first Sulaco. Let's see if we can actually... What is that? I have to do a little bit of cleaning up here, I think. Is that? All right. Never use any model. Well, the thing is, using 3D models in Doom is not really like in GZ Doom is, or maybe UZ Doom. Maybe they fix it, but it has to be possible, of course. But the collision, that is like the collision is bad, and I'm not really sure. I think Boris kind of explained at some point why it couldn't be done. It's like a technical limitation and they can't work around it. Like they can't really fix that issue. Maybe in, I don't know. Maybe they have a different approach someday in UZ Doom. Not really sure. But you know, if they fix collision, like have the actual model have proper collision instead of these squares, like, or rectangles you have to do manually, you know, that would be a game changer. And I would definitely... if you're using the skybox, yes. Or you can do it like if you use it under grates, for example, like pipes and stuff. I think that will really enhance the level. You know, you can do stuff like that, which is kind of out of reach. You can do that, yeah. I think it might be one of the better solutions. Well, can always try that for a change. Okay. Looks better. Let's leave it like this. Do mapping and hammer, trench room, yeah. It's all possible. It is all possible. Okay, we have to fix that. Let's actually get rid of some clutter here. That's no longer a thing. I think for consistency's sake, I'm gonna have to expand it to 32. Only 2, I think. There are moments where I do like I'm just a little burnout on game design. Like I had this short period where I got back into Battlefield 6. And well, I kind of returned pretty quickly to game dev. Like there are some moments, where I have that kind of feeling of being a little burnout, but it actually always returns pretty soon, to be honest. I can understand that. sure why. You know, initially I wasn't really a fan of this isotoxin theme, but it kind of grew on me over the years. Now I can actually appreciate it. And what I really like is in Unreal, I keep talking about Unreal, but you have these, like the level transitions, they're so good. Like in one, I think this isotoxin is actually, you come from like a Nali village where the theme and setting and mood is completely different. And then you see like an industrial building in the distance, and then you jump into isotoxin. And I really love that transition. They did it so well. Yep, true. The more you listen, the better it becomes. Absolutely. Competitive. Well, you know, it's not really like... how would I best describe this? Like... It's not that I want to be competitive per se. But I kind of like... Sometimes I just want to jump in. Like, you know... If you have this short moment where you don't feel like you can invest enough time in a game, like jumping on a quick match, I do see like the benefit, and it's not like it's not really like you always progress no matter what, you know. You can just jump in like half an hour, 45 minutes. Well, I'm not like... No, because I'm like, nowadays I'm getting my ass kicked on Battlefield. Because I think a lot of regular players, they kind of left. And I feel like there's like a more hardcore audience now. But I'm not like a good competitive player or anything. I can do like, you know, we could jump in if we have like a little bit of time at the end of the stream. I can try and do a little bit of BF6. Why not? See how I but you know, it's kind of like I feel like 1 or 2 matches and then I kind of get bored. And it definitely has a different feel compared to, like, I would say Battlefield 4, because I haven't played the later ones. For Battlefield 1 I only did a single player, I think. Single player, yeah. Always the same map, same fights. True. So the games have sewers. Absolutely. No, don't get me wrong, I love sewers. I love sewers in these old maps. Absolutely great. Great stuff. I think this actually might work. This is also a very moody soundtrack. Maybe not my most favorite, but the action sequence is actually pretty good. We have a couple of ice textures here from the original Doom. I kind of like what I felt in this episode so far. is that it's really hard to fit in the Doom 3 textures. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Soft spot, tech base and Arctic levels, yeah. Definitely not bad. Are you kidding me? It is a nice moody soundtrack, yeah. Absolutely. Can we actually get away with this? The fog, you know, I think it was at that time, I also liked that, but I think it was more like to get around the technical limitation of showing too much geometry at once. They make great design, absolutely. I love like nightmare creatures for the PS1. That is one of the best atmospheres I ever saw in a game. You know, if they did like a remaster, no, maybe they shouldn't touch it. They shouldn't touch it. I think it's a bad idea. Should just stay away from it. Yeah, the gameplay is ruined, and I feel like it is ruined by one specific thing, and that is the adrenaline meter. Maybe the camera movement wasn't too great either, but for me the adrenaline meter is what really killed it. Especially in the later levels where they, you know, get a lot harder, the monsters, and your adrenaline meter runs out so fast. Can we actually... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. We're gonna have to go through it. Does this have to be a problem? Yes, probably. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong part actually. This doesn't have to be a problem. Okay, yeah. What am I? I'm this like. I'm using. I'm kind of messing up the geometry too much, I think. Kind of lost a little bit of oversight here. Let's go to ceiling mode. What is this shit? That's actually not necessary. You have to go like this. Okay, this can be, there we go. That's actually what I wanted. And this one has to go like that. Let's see, can we actually fix that? No. Okay, let's bring this in 32, there we go. Oh, I'm in the Doom. In the Doom 2 zone. I can't get. That is very strange. Actually, that kind of solves my problem. It's getting complicated here. Actually, I can solve this problem. Doing that. God, it just doesn't. It doesn't match. Okay. Let's do something else here. Join. And join. We can find something else for this. Maybe we can take this into the Doom 3 environment. Gently introduce it. Like I said, I don't want to stray too far away from what I had in mind for the original episode. Just trying to enhance some areas, make it less cramped, allow for a little more freedom of movement. There are actually blue lights here. Also a pretty great track. I think where you face the Warlord. You can actually kill him really easy by shooting the rock above the Warlord. You can just kill him in one hit. Well, he teleports away, but that's an easy win. Oh, wait, this is not the Warlord fighting. This is something else. I can't remember which level had this track, but it's not the Warlord fight. Could be. I can't remember. I guess we have to play Unreal again. I don't see any other way to find out. Yeah, we have to find out, right? Always forget the shading part. but it definitely adds a lot to the atmosphere. There we go. And now the thing is, I kind of have to redesign this room a little bit. Oh wait, I do have a fancy secret there. Let's do it like that. Okay, there we go. Now we can actually because you entered this room from a different angle. It doesn't make sense for this to be all the way it is. Maybe. Yeah, I don't think this is really fitting. I think that's not really a good place for the yellow key. So let's treat this as an optional area. And let's find a suitable place for the key. I think maybe we can do something here. Work with stairs. Stair builder. That is also a trick I didn't use too much in episode 1. We can actually, since this is 32 exactly, we can use a grid here. This one. We can actually scale it up real nicely. Yeah. Let's not make it too hard on ourselves here. Now these things are, you know, I can live with that. This one is one of my all-time favorites. When you ride that boat, then you come, you know, into the open world that is beautiful. You have that sign, Pirates of Napoli, with the scar with the pirate hat on. Great stuff, man. And this is the fight with the warlord. Let's see. Let's go old school here. I'm gonna try to mix in some Doom 3 textures, but I kind of like this. What is it? Slat. Oh, don't tell me we don't have that. That wonderful. Okay, I have to check something real quick. I know it's here. I think I used the texture. I just forgot its name. But just to make sure. Where is it? I think I know. Right here. Oh no, it didn't. Oh god. That is too bad. Okay, no worries. There was one without the signs, but I was hoping for that, you know, that one with, where the sludge is dripping out. Scroll texture down. Yeah, no, I think it's only in Doom 1. Slime 13. Oh no, yeah. That's also actually a good one. But it has this slat drip, and then you have this, you know, yeah, like something similar like this texture, but it's integrated into this one. I think you find it in the original in the original Doom 1. But you know, let's actually have a look in game. I think I need to add a glow. The one thing that I found is particularly weird. I think I used the wrong one. It's not animated, so I think I need to use slime 2A. Yeah, see, that is the one that is fully animated. Yeah, I think, you know, these maps in episode 1, I actually, to be fairly honest, I kind of like them more than the maps in episode 2, because they feel a little more tight. So I do want to open them up, but not too much. And I probably need to change that texture to something similar. And of course add some serious detail here. But you know, we can sort that out. I triggered one. What the hell are you doing down there? Okay. This is actually good. Now let's increase this. Just a bit rounded off. I think it looks a little nicer. There we go. Where it makes sense, of course. Okay, so we can actually put this one back here. And this one I kind of like. This kind of serves as like to suck out the toxic fumes type of thing. And we can, of course, this has to change, but I do like this wireframe. Oh, oh. Why are they all tag 19? It's a 3D floor. Ah, the water. Okay. I see. Visible. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. So we're gonna put this one on here. Let's see if we can actually add some variations. There are some great textures in here. Always love the, like, I love these textures. Yeah, like something, I don't know. Something special. And we can actually, if we do this right, these two. The thing is, like, I wish they had a couple of generic shapes. You can have more variation. So how we do that is actually fairly simple. We just add this one in here. And if we want, I'm not really sure, this is probably not gonna run. Yeah, it's running. Awesome. So now we can just copy this, and it has this. Hold on. Normally, that is kind of weird because I see. Okay, so let's try this. Yeah, those were the textures. Those were the textures. Great stuff. Zero. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, let's leave it at that. I think it's good enough. Let's get our fella out of the water. Oh, erosion fight. Oh, yeah. See if we can actually use some rust here, like factory. Here we go. It's powering up. Gotta love this. Let's see. Can we find anything Doom 3? Yeah, that's just great stuff, isn't it? Very eerie. Or this is also very cool. I think it was one of the ending tracks was actually unused, but it was a really good one as well, the unused one. I think it was this one. I think it was this one. No, I don't think so. Maybe. There was one. There were two soundtracks actually, and I know for a fact that one of them wasn't used in the final version. Oh yeah. Then it was this one. Damn it. Oh, it's so hard to find a good, like a texture that I really like. Maybe I can do like one more. I need to make my own. Yeah. You know, for like if I'm gonna do a sequel, I think most definitely, yeah. If I have time to spend. Well, that is the big issue, isn't it? Like, there are some textures, but I just need to find... you can be creative with certain textures, like only use a small part. You know, I still feel... God, I still feel like the original Doom textures would fit way better. I thought it would be easier to mix the Doom 3 textures in here. You can never go wrong with this, I guess. But I feel like this could be a great opportunity. You know, it would be great. If I had... If I had the key in here and you would activate it and the slime comes pouring out. This rises. And changes. Yeah, it slides out of the grate. That's actually what I want to do. But I have to make sure, before I do that... okay, so first what we need... But I have to make sure, like, dynamic lights... yeah, I think they're automatically with the sludge. So I gotta make sure this is kind of... Is there something we can actually use for dried sludge? Well, maybe. Slime. We can use it actually, that slime. To be... No, I think... Wait, to slime. I think it might be too obvious. I did spawn a key out of a volcano, so this should be pretty easy, right? Technically, at least. Okay, I need to find like a texture that is kind of like... I think this is the... Yeah, true. This is the final song, the Unreal Ending song that is used. So, what I'm gonna do... Oh, shit. Okay, no worries, no worries. We can actually shrink that down. Okay, and we're gonna bend it. There we go. There we go. And what I'm gonna do is actually extend this. Far enough. Now let's hope this works. What does this line do? Oh yeah. Shouldn't do that, of course. Now I have to test, of course. Probably the player can grab it, so I have to push it further in. No, you cannot grab it. Okay, that's good. I feel like this place opens a lot more, which is better, I think. Maybe these pillars are kind of... not really sure if they're in the way. Should probably add some pillars here. And remove these, get them out of the way. And what I can do here is actually make some light. Do we have something? Hold on. this one. Oh shit, I did it. I used the wrong one. So the thing is, like, you press a switch and then the slouch it gets activated, it pushes the key out. And you can grab it. That's pretty cool. Let's use ceiling. Okay, so now we need to get this. Probably gonna need to use 4. Yeah. Nope. Okay. Now I have to check. Let's see, other way around. Okay. There we go. Okay, this one is actually easy, finally, for once. Okay. Let's hope it's correct. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so now we're gonna set this surface to, let's say 64. I think that's good enough. Removed the color. Now we're gonna add a ceiling glow. Just a standard red is fine. There we go. And this actually, you know, does a lot for the atmosphere. See? Now we can add some red lights here as well. But you get the idea. Like, maybe we can add some pillars here to kind of break up that ceiling a little bit more. Add some trims here along this side. And, you know, we got a good, like, we expanded this area, I think, pretty nicely so far. And I feel it doesn't have to be everywhere, like this is fine, for example. But here I might, you know, play around with maybe with some interesting flanking routes or something, I don't know. There are definitely certain areas which could benefit from it. Not every area. Because if I do it too much, you kind of lose that specific style. And while I kind of want to, you know, make sure they're like there's a visual cohesion between the episodes, I kind of want to add like a unique gameplay so it doesn't get boring. You don't play like 3 episodes of all like the same levels. So here the focus is more intense, while episode 2, I think the focus is more on exploring. Like the fights are a little more spread out, and it's kind of hard because I don't know what, like, what players prefer. So I think maybe like, you know, for the sequel, I could just like try to figure out which playstyle I prefer and kind of, you know, adjust my level design to the most liked levels, so to speak. So I got this good flow. But that is something for, you know, later down the line. I do get the feeling from what I've seen and read that players do like episode 1. Well, you know, episode 2 is, from a technical standpoint, way more advanced. But that kind of doesn't mean anything if, you know, if the level design isn't good, like the gameplay isn't good. So I'm gonna have to see, like, maybe make some adjustments. I don't know. Definitely not gonna tinker too much, because otherwise I will never get this out. But it will definitely take notes and take that with me, you know, to the second episode. Absolutely. But, you know, let's see. That's something for later. I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you so much for joining. I will be returning this weekend. We have, you know, a lot of stuff going on. I got the Game Boy project that I have to work on. We're going to continue with this as well. And, you know, continue our, maybe check out the Quake Brutalist Jam or Call of the Void. There's so much stuff to check out, you know, but we'll see. We'll see how far we get. So thank you so much for joining. Have a great evening, and I'll see you fellas next time. Take care.